Hi hoy. Hi everybody. Hi Coops, how's it going? Good to see you. Sorry, I've got a bit of a sniffle. I took a nap not too long ago. I basically just got up. First week of college and I'm so unfathomably bored I decided it's time to read Homestuck. I'm tired of pretending Homestuck isn't good. Well, I have the guy for you. Um Ito136, my friend Ito. Homestuck lore keeper. Just did a stream. The VOD should be up of himself and my other friend Shumi uh, talking about Homestuck. He was explaining it while she doodled. It was a very good stream. I recommend it. Second week of classes, and I started the semester on a bad foot, and I don't know if I'll recover. That's You'll be okay. You're stronger than you think. Okay, you want to know what I'm dealing with in college? Okay, so I'm fucking pathetic. You guys are all doing better than me. I only have two classes this semester. I have intermediate one Chinese and Mr. Jesus. Thank you for filling out your paperwork correctly. Welcome, welcome. Um, yes, yes. Hello, hello. Um, Thank you for the water cooler break. Today's water is a zero sugar Pepsi. It's 1:16 a.m. Really? That would put you in. Is that +6? Would that be Great British Standard Time? I think that's where it would be. Yeah, UTC +1. Ah, Portugal. Imagining water full of Pepsi. Ew, ew, ew. Yeah, that does sound kind of gross. Okay, let me hold on. Hold on. Where should I put myself? There we go. Let me uh real quick. Let me we're gonna need uh we're gonna need something to write on. So let me do this. Okay. There we go. There we go. I'm streaming. So, I have two classes. Actually, do I have my? Hold on. I can do this. I can do this. Maybe. I think. Hold on. Hold on. Hold. There you are. I have my cheap Octorobin. Hello. Hi hi hi. How's it going? It's going. It's going. I am setting up so that I can have a way to delicious variable audio quality because my mic is super sensitive up close and not at all from a distance. Okay, there we go. There. Now we're fucking. Um, let's put that on. Okay, so I have two classes. I have intermediate Chinese 1 and I have intermediate Japanese 2. So, my history with Chinese. Let me actually there we go. That's fine for our purposes. My history with Chinese. I took 4 years of Chinese in high school. I took a year of Chinese in college as an easy credit. So I have been exposed to Chinese in an academic setting non-continuously for oh god, like what would that have been? Fucking I graduated in 2017, 16, 15. Oh god. Like 11 years? I think. Getting the language credit? No, these are my only classes. Okay, so aside from this, I already have a BA. I have a BA in sociology. So, I have done 120 credits at a different university for sociology. I've done all of my upper level coursework. I did my research acumen. Unfortunately, the job prospects in sociology are as follows. Moving on. Okay, long story short, I did not want to do sociology initially. Sociology was the department that took me at the provincial college that I went to. I started in fall of 2019. So 2019, I started college. Um, Fall of 2019, I started college. Uh, and I'm like, I'll get all my gen eds out of the way, and then I'll be able to apply to a better college that actually has what I want to do. I wanted to do this for my first degree. If I had had my way, I would already be in graduate school. Um, Getting my advanced degree probably in Japanese. That would be the hope. So I'm like, I'll get all my gen eds out of the way. 2020 rolls around. And the incident happens. Fucking COVID-19 happens. And throughout all of this, I'm like, okay, I guess I'll just keep going until COVID's over and I can switch. I'll just keep going. I guess I'll just finish. And then I get here and I fucking graduate in 2024 with a degree I didn't want. And that's when I had my first year of college. Yeah. So I had everyone started college in the fall of 2019 apparently. Yeah. The thing is I didn't have to. I could have done it differently. I could have I have to work really hard to not live my life filled with absolute crushing regret sometimes because I took 2 gap years. Because I made the mistake, I applied to one school. And I didn't get in. They said you can go to our regional school. And I went and I visited and I was like, I won't survive a week here. It's too depressing. Um, and looking back, I should have just toughed it out because it would have given me the head start. So, anyway, I never got to study Chinese or Japanese at a high academic level in person. So, I have been exposed to China. I get that on the crushing regret thing. Yeah, you get it. Um, but hey, I'm here and I'm alive, so I have to honor my physicality in some way. Um, I can go into more debt. I'm going to die eventually. They can't take that from me. um, God, that sounds so morbid. Uh, Japanese, my history with Japanese. I back in high school in like I want to say freshman year, which was oh god, that was 12 years ago. So, freshman year of high school, I fell and I skinned my knee and I like ripped up my hand. So I was kind of out of commission. Like I couldn't go outside or anything and do shit because I was like injured. So I decided to learn Japanese. I would start learning Japanese. Um 2 days ago was my first proper Japanese course. Everything else that I have has basically been self instruction. So, um now mind you, in this 11 years, in 2017, I went to China. I went to China. Um, thought you were about to say self-inflicted. Um, but yeah, so I've been to China. It was only for 10 days. But it was a very eye-opening experience. I love China. It's a very fun country to be in. I don't know if I would want to live there, but I'd love to visit again. I had nothing but wonderful experiences in China. Um, I wish I had Chinese-speaking friends to visit with. Yeah, uh, visiting China for me is probably always going to be like a tour guide situation. Uh, unless I make some close Chinese friends. Because it's a very large country. It's very easy to get lost, and I don't want to get lost in a foreign country necessarily. Where I don't speak the language as well as I think I should. Uh, so as a result, Chinese education in America uh, is very slow going. So Chinese is actually not as hard a language as people think it is. Chinese is a perfectly serviceable language with lovely qualities. Chinese is an analytic language. I spelled that wrong. Chinese is an analytic. So components of meaning. So like in English, English is what's called a fusional language. So we have like a unit of meaning in a word, and then it might be modified somehow with additional information in the form of inflection. Um, so like I'm trying to think of a good example because I always hate using the word eat because it's English makes things hard to explain sometimes. Uh, I'm trying to think of a non-irregular English verb. Many such cases. There's like 200 of them, and they're all in common usage. Um, I don't know. Forget. So that's a word. Um, so if you want to put it into a different form, you can add an S, and it's forgets. Because we're a Germanic language, we undergo like vowel weakening in some things. So some of the inflections change like the last stem vowel, but that's normal. You can figure that out. But this is how English works. English is a fusional language. We have units of meaning, and they're modified by inflection. So some sort of sound change, usually for us towards the end of the word, indicates a difference in meaning. Chinese is different. Chinese is like individual units of meaning, and then like the order that they go in, and occasionally other distinct units of meaning that are not changing the sounds of these are added on. And so this is an analytic language. And Chinese is one of those. And that makes for a very it makes for very elegant, very learnable sentence structure. So, like, Chinese sentences at a basic level are subject, verb, object. So, like, in a Chinese sentence, you will have the subject, then you can have a time phrase. So, like, if I'm the subject, we can say 我. Uh, 每天? I've forgotten how to write May. Oh, it's all falling apart. Fuck. Oh, I'm so good. There we go. To. This is a verb. It means to go out. And then买东西. This is also a verb, but we're saying that we're going out to do it, so it modifies that. And then an object, in this case, 东西, which is just things. It means literally it means east-west, but it's the generic Chinese word for stuff. It means like things, or like a common Chinese phrase is like that I've heard people use is like 吃东西, which is like eat something. Like, let's eat things. So these are tenseless and aspectless. There is no indication of what time these are happening directly encoded into the verb. Unlike English, where you would have to, like, put this into a continuous or whatever, like, in English, we don't have a true continuous tense or a true continuous aspect or, like, a habitual aspect. So it would still be go, or like I go and buy, but if it was in the past, it would be like I went, or I used to go, that sort of thing. All of that is handled by the time phrase in this sentence. So you can slot any time into this, and it'll still be a perfectly grammatical sentence. And so there are these distinct slots in a Chinese sentence. And one of the really like wonderful, elegant things about Chinese is that if you want to ask a question, there's a question word, and you just slot it in to the space that you want to know about. So like if I was talking to somebody and they said this, I could say like 你, which is you, 每天, every day, 去买, and then 什么. This means what? And because we're asking for the object of the sentence, we just replace we replace the object. We put it in the object category. If we wanted to know what time somebody does it, we could say 你什么时候去买东西? Like, literally, you what time go buy thing. If I want to ask who's doing it, 谁每天去买东西? Who, what time, goes, buys thing. And it's glory. Chinese is a beautiful language. It is so incredibly elegant in like its simplicity and your ability to very very easily create new sentences. Um and obviously there are some exceptions. Like occasionally the time phrase can go at the beginning if you want to really emphasize it. There are constructions where you can move things around. So like there's a construction with a word that's ba, which is you can move the subject, or you can move the object to the front of the sentence. It basically makes the sentence subject object verb if you want to emphasize what that you're talking about, the thing that something happened to. Um but you don't have to like put it into the subjunctive or anything. So yeah, Chinese is a wonderfully elegant language in that regard. And I feel so many like people look at Chinese characters and like the tonal system and they get really scared. That's where all the complexity is. At its core, Mandarin Chinese specifically is a delightfully simplistic language in terms of construction. Like it's just great. Like once you get a hang of like thinking about it, it clicks and it feels really good. um it's almost I don't want to be too reductive, but it's almost mathematical in like the construction of the language, and there's something about it that I really just love. um I wish people talked about the easier parts. I might have tried to learn it at high school. It's never too late to learn a language, and I'm going to say that currently struggling. So I have a pretty good grasp of the Chinese language at an intermediate level. I am confident in saying I am probably the highest level person in my class right now, because for some reason, Mandarin education in America is really slow. Um, I think part of it is that they don't want people to be overwhelmed, but like you learn very slowly, and there is a resistance to encouraging students to like experiment and fail. Um, and I think a lot of it is that there is like a front loading of difficulty. Like the Chinese pronunciation system is a little bit complicated. Um, like Hanyu Pinyin, which is like spelling sound, is the method for rendering Chinese in Latin characters, and it was developed for basically for Chinese input purposes, like on a keyboard. Um, so like the word for Chinese is 中文. Um, the tonal system is complicated for people who are used to a stressed language like English. Um, there are 4.5 tones in Chinese. There's the first one, the second one, the third one, and the fourth one, and the fifth one, which is kind of not one at all. And they're contour tones. This one always gets taught wrong. The ass falls off. It's not important. You don't need to know this for now. But it's important that you get it down kind of early. Um, One thing that happens a lot is that there is this lack of confidence that develops in a lot of Chinese learners. I don't know what causes it necessarily. It's either due to a lack of experience or a lack of confidence or a lack of will to play with the language outside of the classroom. So like pronunciation isn't going to be great. The ability to read kind of suffers a lot. So you'll have people reading at a very slow pace with very little confidence, um, and getting a lot of it wrong, like B1, B2 level. I would say I'm in between A2 and B1. I'm like low B1 level. Chinese is weird. It doesn't necessarily use the lettering system. The Chinese has a standard test. It's called the HSK. And I always forget what this stands for. It's like Hanyu Sh... What does HSK stand for? Hanyu 水平考试. Chinese language level examination. So HSK has numbers. It used to be 1 to 6. I think they're working on adding up to 9. So like HSK 1 is, if I remember correctly, you need to know 150 characters, which is not a lot. This is not enough for like even the most basic of conversations, and I mean conversations. Like you can make simple sentences, you can talk about apples, basically, because for some reason, like I'm gonna show my ass here. What is the simplified character for apple? Yeah. Bup, bup. So like 苹果 is apple, and they're really insistent that you know that because they just want you to know like an object that you can count. Um, but yeah, at the listening portion of the HSK 1, basically you need to be able it's not a lot at all. No. HSK 1 is like true beginner Chinese. Like honestly, if you're working really hard, you can probably hammer out HSK 1 in a month. The listening portion, you basically are only required to be able to point to it and go, "Yeah, I'm being spoken to in Chinese." Um So like if you want to have like an introduction to the language, just pick up like look up an HSK1 textbook, Duolingo level Chinese. Honestly, HSK, yeah. Duolingo is a horrible way to learn a language. Never do it. Not even Duolingo, not even once. Um it's just bad. Like it's not good, and also it's AI now. Um which like the place of AI in language learning is kind of contentious. Like I struggle with it because on the one hand, like it is somewhat good, like generative text based AI, if we can even use that term. Large language models. Large language models engaging in pre-directed machine learning. Um, as we've seen, can create somewhat believable human-like text. So as a supplement, I can see there being a place for AI for someone who is not very wealthy and wants to have some text-based conversational practice. I would not recommend it for any level of listening practice or speaking practice necessarily. But if you just want to do some do some chat talking, there might be some benefit to it. Probably, I mean, Chinese might be a good choice for that as well, because like there's probably a very large corpus to draw from. But anyway, what was I talking about? I've forgotten. Fuck. My train of thought, it's gone. I should have made a note to myself. Yeah, the HSK1. So if you want a taste for the language, I don't know, study for the HSK1. Last I checked, it's not that expensive to actually take the exam. Yeah, it's like, if you're really lucky, you can find an HSK exam for like $30. Like apparently in mainland China, it's 150 renminbi, which is $20. um, which is like HSK is crazy cheap. Honestly, like if you just want to do it, like my greatest advocacy for learning foreign languages as a person who does it to a level that is probably to a cripplingly addictive level. I love getting my hands on a lot. If you do it for nothing else than to make the world a little bit less mysterious to you, if you can take yourself from a person who looks at like Chinese characters and is just totally confused, if you can take yourself even just a little bit to a person who can look at Chinese and kind of know even a little bit of what's going on, it's such a good feeling. It is like the world becomes less mysterious to you. You get to have a more full understanding of the world around you. Like there's so much China out there, and I feel like one of the worst things that happens, especially in America, is that China kind of gets flattened into this like mindless collective. Like we talk about China as if it's one singular entity, like as if it's just like Mr. China and his 1.5 billion clones running around. Where in actual, like, it's a country like any other. Like everybody in China is a different human person, and they're living full lives that are just as rich as yours or mine. And I feel like experiencing the language that a huge chunk like a huge chunk, at least an eighth of the population of the earth speaks to some degree, is huge. So yeah, Big advocate for like basic Chinese education. Like you should, if more people could speak basic Chinese, the world would be a better place. I think this is inspiring a bit to take a crack at Chinese. Chinese, okay. Chinese and Japanese are very interesting languages to do at the same time. I don't necessarily recommend it for everybody. But if you do one, the other becomes less mysterious as well. Obviously, like just based on like uh China, more so in one direction. Chinese will make Japanese a less mysterious language, a less confusing language. Like from my exposure to Chinese, I can look at kanji and with about 50% accuracy, even if I haven't seen the word, I can interpolate what's what it's supposed to sound like. Um like also Korean. Cor- Something like 80% of Korean nominal vocabulary is from Chinese. Um so while it's not a one-to-one match, it's been a while since those words were imported. I can hear a Korean word, and if I see the characters, if I see the hanja for it, um, I can be like, oh, I see why you're saying it that way. By the way, hanja. So one thing that we should get out of the way is some terminology. The languages that use them all have this down. Uh, Let me. That's right. Boop, boop, boop. And it's like this, and like that, and like that, and that. Han. In simplified Chinese, it's like this. Han. And then zi. So in Chinese, Hanzi. Han is a. It is a. Uh, it's an ethnonym. It is the term for the Han people, the majority Chinese ethnic group. When you think about people from China, you are thinking about the Han Chinese. There's something like 50 recognized ethnic minorities in China, and that's just the recognized ones. There's even more. Um, I think something like 90 or 80% of all people in China are Han Chinese. Um, so this has been like the ruling ethnicity of China for most of Chinese history. There was a time where the Manchu, the Manchurians, uh, yeah, the Uyghur are another one, and they do have very delicious food. I've been to the Uyghur old town in Xi'an, um, and it's very interesting. They have a way of rendering Chinese in the Arabic script called Shao'erjing, which is inherently flawed and does not work well. um, but it's interesting because you're in China and then you'll hear like the adhan, like the call to prayer, and is they like obviously they do it in Arabic because that's the language you're supposed to do it in. Um, but then like the imam speaks Chinese, like Mandarin Chinese, or in like the region of like East Turkestan, Xinjiang, uh, that they'll speak Uyghur, like the Uyghur language. Um, but like in Xi'an, there's a large population, like the old capital, which is Xi'an. The 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 Western Peace. Anyway, so Hanzi, Han Chinese, and Zi means characters. Like this is a Zi, this is a Zi, this is a Zi. It means character. So like Roman character Loma Zi. Um, and this is the word for what we usually call Chinese, what we call a whole bunch of things in English. Um, Personally, I prefer Han characters. I think that's the most accurate description. Calling them Chinese kind of muddies the water in terms of what they're actually used for. Because, like, um, so in Korean, it is. Han Hanja? I think this is correct. I think this is correct. I could be wrong. Let me fix that up. Hanja. Yeah. Oh, that's Hanja. Hanja. I've never taken Korean. Hagja. um, Hangul. I don't know, something like people always talk about, oh, Hangul so easy, Hangul so easy, and I'm like, no, no, I need my boys. I need my fucking inefficient writing system invented in prehistory that has a single character to describe every phenomena in nature. How am I supposed to know what we're talking about? Really though, like I can look at like Japanese written by children where it's all hiragana, and I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. I can look at like high level academic texts and where it's like peppered with like six kanji compound words, and I'm like, yes, I have absolutely every idea what's going on here. This is where I feel comfortable, which is the issue I'm running into. um I've learned Japanese backwards on accident. um so Hanja. Certain Korean words that have the same Hangul characters but different Hanja characters. Yeah, yeah. There are a lot of homophonous. There are a lot of homophones. So like ni ha, hello mocha. Um, so for my understanding of the way that Korean deals with this is that they refer to Hanja in a very elegant way. Most Hanja have two readings. They've got a Sinitic reading. Sino is the term that we use when we refer to China academically. So like Mandarin Chinese is referred to as a Sino-Tibetan language. It's from the Sino-Tibetan language family, and it has a native Korean reading. So they will refer to Hanja as like with like the Chinese reading and then the Korean reading. So it's like this sound character, the one we use to write this word. So like let me find an example because I really love this. It's one of it's I think it's a really beautiful system. Uh, we'll use the character for cow. What am I doing? Uh, so this in Korean is referred to as so u. Sol is the Chinese reading, and u is the Korean word for cow. Uh, so like uyu is like cow's milk. Or no, I have it backwards. I have it backward. I think. Wait, no, no, I'm right. Anyway, you get the idea. We have like it's a cool system. I don't touch Korean. Korean is complicated. The Korean phonology fucks me up. Anyway, we're gonna have an ad, so keep all of this in your mind. I'm just gonna run the ad now, and we'll be right back. We are back. We are back. Hello. Greetings, gamers. Just kidding. We're not playing games today. So, when we last left off, we were talking about Han characters. So, in Chinese, or in Japanese rather, Nihongo. Nihongo ni, kore wa, or would it be Nihongo de, kore wa? I don't know. I don't speak Japanese. Not yet. This is kan. What am I doing? And this is G. So you can kind of see, like, Z, G, Z, G, Z, G, Z, G, Z, G. There's a continuity here. These were borrowed wholesale from Chinese. The issue that people run into with kanji specifically, kanji have way more readings than the other two. Most characters in Chinese have one reading. There's about, I think, 10% of characters have two readings, and they're usually fairly different. So, like, the one that always comes to mind is this one. This is normally xing, which means like to go. If you know any Japanese, you'll recognize this. This is the character from Iku. Normally, this is the character from Iku, like to go, ikimasu. Or occasionally this can be spelled yoku, which means to pass away. In like it's like a formal way of avoiding talking about death. Anyway, iku. So, however, it can also be pronounced hang. I believe it's second tone. Yeah, second tone. And this comes up fairly commonly because it is in this word, in hang, which in is silver, and hang means hang, and this is the word for bank. This is also the term used for bank in Japanese. What is it, like ginko? What is it? I think it's ginko. Yeah, ginko. Ginko, a long u, or a long o. So it's kind of like Enochian. Now, as you remember, Enochian resembles no human language. Which I'd like to get my hands on some, because I'd be able to determine in like 5 minutes whether or not that's a true statement. Anyway, kanji have a lot of readings because, first off, I'm going to use this character to mean China because it means China. This is Zhong. Or Zhong, sorry. Zhong or Chu. 中国 or Chukoku is China, the Middle Kingdom, all under heaven, province of the gods, which is actually a word that you can use for China. Shenzhou, or sorry, Shenzhou, the divine province, which is one I love busting out because I'm a fucking loser. I would make jokes in high school as like I learning French, learning Spanish. That's pathetic. I'm learning God's language. So this is the character for sun. It's ni in Nihon. So one issue was there was often multiple there was not always a one-to-one correspondence in terminology. So one thing that would happen is that characters would come from Chinese, and there would be one character for that thing, and there might be three words of very similar meaning in native Japanese, and they were like, okay, we'll just write all of this with like okurigana. Okurigana. Okurigana is like in iku. This is okurigana. Like clarification kana. Hello, Luna. How are you? A Japanese umlaut. Sort of, yeah. It is like so one example. I need to look up exactly how to write it. The traditional Japanese word for closet is oshigire, which is it has a number of ways you can write it. So this is oshi. As a verb, it's written like this, and this you'll know. This is oshi, like in oshimark or oshinoko. It means push. When you say someone's your oshi, it means they are your pushed one. Yeah, this is oshi. Botan no oshi. Press the button. But it's been nominalized, so you can use it as a noun now. Or you can say, I've been pushing this person lately. So like so the word for closet, oshire. Oshi. The common way of writing it, normal as a verb, this has okurigana of shi. Because this helps with inflection. The way that it is written in closet, because the Japanese word for closet is literally a push into thing. Like a thing that you can push things into is like this. This means to enter. It's like iru means like to go into something. Ire, and it's de because it's been nominalized. However, you can write it like this. And it's still oshire. However, you can also write it like this. And it's still perfectly acceptable. Technically, you can also write it like this. If you're a child. You can just write it out with the sound characters if you're a child. These are all perfectly grammatical and, like, typographically correct. Japanese is a magnificent language. So, one issue. The reason kanji have so many readings. Chinese character might come over. Lots of words that it gets assigned to. One example of this. This is the infamous one. This has a lot of terms. This means, in Chinese, it's, sheng, which means, like, born. But it's in a lot of words, like, shen sheng. That's not how you write that character. This is, shen, it means, like, first. Sheng. This is Mr. In Japanese, it's been introduced as sensei. This is teacher. And it means somebody born before you. Like, this is before, this is born. It is those who are born before you. Shen sheng. So in China, like, Zhang shen sheng. Wei shen sheng. Mr. Zhang, Mr. Wei. Tanaka sensei. Murikawa sensei. Nakamura sensei. That kind of thing. So, it's se. Sashisu se. Se. I always forget se. Se. Because I never write it. It's always like a kanji. That's so. Se. That's why. I don't know what it is. I just have a mental block with this one. Se. Sensei. Oshiete kudasai. So in sensei, it's se. On its own, this character can be read all sorts of ways. So, like, on its own, you'll see this on beer sometimes. And it's read as nama. Nama means, like, fresh. Or, like clean. It's kind of a weird, like, refresh. And it sort of has that connotation in some Chinese words. This is a very old character. Like, we have seal script and, Oracle bone script attestations. For those of you who don't know, Chinese characters were basically invented for divination. You take the plastron of a turtle, which is like the underbelly. And what you would do is this is like mukashi sono tori de aru. You take you write down what you want to know in, like, what is referred to as the Oracle bone script. Like, yes. And then on the other side, you drill holes into it and you apply a hot metal poker to it. And the thermal expansion causes it to crack. So you get cracks in it. And then so you have the supplicant's question written on it. You apply the fire. It cracks, and this can be done with either the underbelly of a tortoise or the scapula, the shoulder blade of a ruminant, like a cow. And you apply the heat. The thermal expansion causes it to crack, and the cracks are interpreted by the diviner in order to determine it. So we have a lot of very human, very, like, king-related words that are all very old. So, like, we have attestation for this in Oracle Bone script, like the oldest version of Chinese characters. So these are all questions like, will it rain next month? Will the king become healthy? That sort of thing. Um, so at some point, this got adopted for the word for like clean or raw. Um, it is also in the word for to live, like is it iku? Ikiru. And in that case, it's e. It's got a whole bunch of other readings. There's a lot of them. It can be read as ike, and a lot of them are kind of just because it was applied fuzzily. So like, it can be read as ike in ikebana. Um, which in this case, it's meant to use as like to keep alive. So ikebana is flower arranging. Um, there's another word that's not as common that also uses ike, and I think it's like ikeu. Uh, hold on, let me look this up because I think it demonstrates what it means with this reading better if you know both of them. Because it has to do with fish. Oh, that's delightful. So this is a fun one. This is namazakana means raw fish. Seigyo, same characters, live fish. um, there's another one that's also written this way that's way less common that means like keeping fish in an aquarium. In a similar way to that, but it can be read Ike. I'm not going to go through all of the readings for this character, but um, actually, you know what? I want my little oracle bone back. We're just going to erase this over here. So, there was also another thing that would happen. In Japanese there are two major types of reading. There's onyomi. I have to look up how to write yomu. I'm a fucking fraud. There it is. Onyomi which is sound read. This means sound. Yomi means reading. Um, and there's kunyomi. So, onyomi is borrowed Chinese readings. They're borrowed for the sound of the character. Kunyomi are meaning readings. They are Chinese characters used to write Japanese words. Most compound words are going to be using onyomi. What they don't tell you is that there's multiple types of onyomi. There's so like there's kan onyomi, which are borrowings from the Han Dynasty. There's so onyomi, which are borrowings from the Song Dynasty. And they think there's go onyomi, which are borrowings from the Tang Dynasty, like around that time. So there are multiple onyomi for a lot of characters, because when the word was borrowed over, like wholesale, the Japanese were like, okay, how do you say this? Like, because they don't have this rigid one-to-one relationship with characters and pronunciations like Chinese does. They were like, okay, so it uses these characters. How do you say it? And then they rendered it into Japanese. So like, and you see this throughout, like, all of the examples of like Chinese words being borrowed into other languages. Like, how at the time when it was borrowed was it said? And what characters did it use? The convoluted. So China's a really old country. As historically speaking, it has 5,000 years of like recorded history. Old Chinese is vastly different than modern Chinese, and every phase in between was vastly different than all of the others. Um, uh, I can't remember if English has words that are borrowed from the Chinese language at a particular reading. Peking duck. Sort of. Peking is an old word for Beijing. Yeah, tea. Um, the standard modern Chinese is cha. However, down south in certain parts, it's pronounced something more like te, and that got borrowed into languages of the Indian subcontinent as like chai, but like eventually it made it over to te and tea. Peking is like an old romanization, basically, of an older dialect of like northern Chinese. So like Peking duck means Beijing duck. Um, so because of that, there's also a non one-to-one association with onyomi as well. So kunyomi, we got a Chinese character with multiple native readings or multiple native terms having the same Chinese character, the same Han character, and we've got onyomi, meaning or sound borrowings happening at multiple times, like the same character borrowed multiple times over. Um, and this just creates a whole bunch of readings for a bunch of characters. Occasionally, one fun thing that happens is occasionally it'll go backwards. A Japanese term will be coined and it'll go backwards. The Chinese word for economics is 经济课, or like 经济学, was originally coined in Japanese with Chinese characters and borrowed back into Chinese. So there is a certain reciprocity there that's very fascinating. That wouldn't necessarily happen in other language like setups, but because they're using the same writing system, it can. And they use the Chinese reading for it. So this is why kanji are so convoluted. This process that happened for so long is why kanji have so many readings in comparison to Chinese characters. The other thing, the reason they're so disparate is that Chinese changed a lot. So, like, one thing that happened is Chinese used to have what are called the character used to describe them as du, entering tones, or in English they're sometimes called checked tones. These are syllables that ended in a final stop consonant, P, T, or K. This is preserved in forms of in Chinese languages like Cantonese. It's completely absent in modern standard Mandarin. Uh, the checked tone has been redistributed almost randomly into the other four tones. Primarily third and fourth tone, I believe. So the one that goes up and down, down and up, and the one that goes down. Um, so the issue is that Japanese only has one allowable final consonant, which is the nasal sonorant. It gets romanized as N. It can. I've seen I've seen works of research that advocate for the fact that it has up to 9 pronunciations. Uh, that seems a little high, but there are definitely ones. Uh, but there are certain sounds that change it slightly. So like the Japanese word for one of the Japanese words for dragonfly is tombo, and it kind of makes it more of an N or more of an M, but it's still written like this. In fact, it actually used to be written with mu, if my memory serves me correctly, which kind of gives you an idea of how variable it is. Um, Modern Japanese orthography is great and very close to the actual sounds that it's making in terms of like kana, because it was reformed in the Meiji era. So the way that it is written is much better than it used to be. The example that comes to mind is so this is kyo. This means today. Um, it's what's called jukujikun, which is a kanji compound in which the readings of the characters are not taken into account. It's solely the meanings of the characters being assigned to a word. So this is neither necessarily onyomi or kunyomi. It's just that it is agreed upon that the ima and he together are kyul, because this one means like now and this one means day or sun. So this is taken to mean today, and Japanese has a word for today and it's kyul. So that's why the, neither of the like it's not like this one is like ki and this one is yol. It's just kyul together. But that's I'm getting into the weeds. Um, kyul, the kana representation used to be this. still pronounced Kyo, but the orthography had drifted and been like just so battered from years and like influence from Middle Chinese and Middle Japanese and like weird scribal tradition from like Buddhism and all of that, that for some reason we were writing Kyo with a kana that spell kefu. And there were also what's called hentai gana, which are non-standard kana, and it was a whole mess. It was really bad. And then the Meiji period happened, and they were like, "We gotta figure this out." So they made it a 1-to-1 representation, and it's all been good from now. Except now the four now the four like SZ sounds are all drifting, and they're not consistent between dialects of Japanese, and in writing down a language is an inherently damaging process because it'll constantly be out of date with how people actually sound. Source fucking Tibetan. Anyway, all of this is to say that I go from being really confident in Chinese class to going into my Japanese class and being like, I am the dumbest boy alive. I should be killed. I don't deserve to live. I have no idea what I'm doing. I can't conjugate a verb to save my life. Ah! And somehow I got sorted into like a higher level Japanese than I did Chinese, which makes no sense. But I took the placement test and they were like, "You know what you're doing, don't you?" I'm like, "I can just read kanji. I'm sorry. I feel like I've tricked you. Oh no." Um so like today, I told Pearl and Joaquin this. Today I realized that I sit in the seat that my Japanese professor calls on first almost every time. So I have no lead up to anything. I'm the first guy. So I panicked today because she was please stand up and introduce yourself and tell us about your hobbies. Hajimemashite, Nemo desu. Because I go by Nemo in Japanese. I'm super cute. Yeah. Hajimemashite, Nemo desu. Watashi no hobby wa. And then I panic a little bit in my head, and I'm like, okay, just name 3 things you like. Name 3 things that you know are good and that people won't think are weird. Don't say pornography. Whatever you do, that would be silly. That would be bad. And I panic and I'm like, watashi no hobby wa shodo to chado to keiba. So, my hobbies are shodo, calligraphy, chado, the tea ceremony. And I blame fucking streaming for this. I said that one of my hobbies was horse racing. The Uma Musume got to me. Uma Musume got to me, and now I sound like a fucking salary man. I have fucking I have fucking Taisho era hobbies. I'm gonna die. I am not going to survive this class. Ugh. So anyway, let's I guess we could start doing some studying. Because the best way to study is to teach. So let's learn about Japanese verbal structure. I'm gonna pull up a Wikipedia article and I'm just gonna walk you through it. Because I need my Wikipedia crutch. Because I don't actually know how to conjugate Japanese verbs. Um, so, some characters to know. Uh, when we talk about Japanese verbs, because we should do it correctly. This is done. And this means row. It's the opposite of, I've forgotten how this is read, but just know that this means column. So Japanese has a kana syllabary. So, it's like, let's see if I remember all of them. I, u, e, o, ka, ki, ku, ke, ko, sa, shi, su, se, so, ta, chi, tsu, te, to. Hey, in case you hadn't noticed, you're being rated. Lane! Lane, hello. Hello, welcome. You rated idiot. Playing Honkai Star Rail. Ah, this is a teaching experience. So, for some reason, MiHoYo in English, MiHoYo is masquerading as a Japanese company despite being Chinese. So, Genshin. Genshin is the Japanese rendering of a Chinese word. Yunshen, which means like primordial god. It's this. They rebranded to Hoyoverse instead of MiHoYo. I do not care. I do not care for them. They make gacha games, and I only have room for horse racing. It all goes back to China. Yes, it all goes back to China. So, this means like primordial or like wild. Like, I'm fit. Don't quote me on this because I don't remember, but I'm fairly certain. this means like yuan tian means like grassland. It's like uncultivated in this case. I could be wrong. I can't remember. Let me check to make sure I'm not fucking with you. Uh I'm wrong. It means farmland on a plateau. Uh but it does mean like original primary. Um or like grassland kind of. Um Genshin is not a Japanese word really. It's just you can say these characters in Japanese. It's Yunshan or Yuanshan. Anyway, um, we're learning about Japanese. And I am trying to remember all of my kana. Na ni. That's right. Ni nu has that thing, as in nuru, which is like wet and slippery. Ne. Ne is one of these ones, and it's got the little curly thing. They're twins. No. You'll get really good at that one. That's the genitive particle. Ha. This is also wa when it's the subject marker. Or the topic marker, sorry. Ga is the subject marker, and they're different. It'll take you years to figure out why they're different, but they're different. Ha, hi, hu, he, ho. Ma, mi. Mi is one of my favorites. Mu, me. It's like an eyeball. And then mo. Ya. You. Yo. Da. Di. Do. De. Do. And then imagine that these are beneath it. And I think it's just like wa. Oh. And then Anyway, so dan means row. There are three main types of Japanese verb. There are godan, godan doshi, ichidan doshi, And suru and kuru. These are irregular. They happen in a lot of compound words. So they are called this because doshi is made out of two characters. Do means movement and shi means word. These are moving words. And you can take that to the bank. So verbs. 5-row verbs and 1-row verbs. 1-row verbs, I believe, are what do they call them normally? Godan verbs get called u verbs, I think in Genki, and Ichidan verbs get called ru verbs. They are called this because of their inflectional pattern. For example, Wanga is simple, just like deciding when you should use de, ni, or mare, or e. From what I understand, knowing when to use e is easy, and that don't. It's basically become fully formalized in that it's from what I understand, it's like it just become the formal version of de in casual conversation. Like there's a slight difference in like keigo, but in casual Japanese, not anymore. Good for us. So, Godan are called such because they have sounds from each of the these are technically columns, but we're going to call them rows because normally it's written like this. I fucked up. Sue me. Godan doshi are called such because when you inflect them, that is to say, when you conjugate them, for example, I'll just use the one that they use in the chart. This is a combination of me looking at a chart and telling you about it and me doing this to teach myself. So bear with me. So we'll just use yomu. Yomu ends in mu. It is a godan doshi of the muro. So, in order to conjugate this needs to change. So like the polite form of verbs, or like the mas form. The polite form of this one is yomimasu. So in the polite form, this takes e. In the potential form, like I can do this, I can read this, it shifts to the e column. Yomeru. So you get like yomeru, hana seru. But hanashimasu. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. We're moving around. That's why they're called godan. They're 5-row verbs because their stems change. Ichidan doshi are called such because they have so calling these ru verbs is disingenuous because all ichidan verbs end in ru. However, not all verbs that end in ru are ichidan verbs. So, miru, to see. These are simpler. So this is miru. This kanji is read mi. The polite form is made by this just falls off. And then it's added. This is considered its own stem. So the polite form of miru is mimasu. The polite form or the potential form is mi da reru. Da 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 da. So that's the difference. That's the basic difference. We have pentagrade, is the academic term. We have pentagrade verbs. And we have unigrade verbs. Suru, to do, and kuru, to come, are weird and special and have their own inflection. It seems kind of inconvenient, but it's not that bad. They're basically classes of words in themselves. To come. Okay, here's a so this is to come. However, the word used to denote the state of achieving orgasmic pleasure in Japanese is actually to go. Iku. Just as a little aside. OMG the call it. Yeah, I'm a good teacher, damn it. I teach the people what they need. So, suru and kuru are different because there's some of the most common verbs, because verbs are a closed class in Japanese. And what we mean by that is that they are not. It is not a productive part of the language. You can't make new bare Japanese verbs. You kind of can, but it's uncommon. The only one that comes to mind is guguru, which is like to Google, and that's just a little funny on the fact that Google in Japanese is guguru. And they were like, "Oh, it ends in ru. We can just inflect that. That can be a verb. Fuck it." Um, which I think it's an ichidan verb, so it would be like I can Google gugurareru. Or maybe it's not. Is it, hold on. We've got an ad, so we can just kill time by me looking at my dictionary. Uh, guguru. It's not. It's a godan verb. It's gugurimas and gugureru. I see. Cool. Okay. It's a godan verb. Guguranai. Do not Google. Okay, we're gonna run an ad. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Salute, salute, everybody. Also, Mocha. Goo. Not Danai. Goo goo. Da. Nai. Da. A stem. Are you fluent in all the languages of men and beasts yet? Almost. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Goo goo babies. Yes. Goo goo. I don't. What is the Japanese that she uses for that? Is it like because the Japanese for the Japanese for baby is akachan, like which I think is repulsive because it literally means like little red thing. Because they come out red and like cryy and gross. So what would it be like? Akachan no asobimashou. There's another one we can talk. Asobi. Which bup 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 bup. Asobu. Um. To play. So if you want to say like this actually is a good springboard into one of the features of Japanese verbs. So, English is a fusional language. We've been over this. Chinese is an analytic language. Units of meaning indicated by other smaller units of meaning, and everything is neatly organized and tidy. Japanese is a agglutinative language. Japanese is perfectly happy linking things together all day. So, I will explain this to you the way that I understand it. It may be wrong, but I don't think it is. I'm rarely wrong, and when I am, I like to admit it. So, asobu. This is a Godan verb. It ends in bu. Asobu. Asore. And it means to play. Let me make this just a little bit smaller. $10 points. That's better. So this kana, by the way, it can be, you can write it like this. You can also write it like this. Either one is fine. This one is more like this one is faster. You don't have to worry about like doubling back because it can be kind of annoying. So that is how I write it. So, asobu, we can make it polite. Aso, we put it into the iro. Asobi masu. This is polite. Asobimasu. And you'll notice it's asobimasu, not asobu. Asobimasu. Some dialects will say asobimasu, but in standard Tokyo dialect, it is asobimasu, and that is because Surrounded by unvoiced consonants that can take voicing. So like ka. The weak vowels of I and U become unvoiced. So, the Japanese for triangle, literally a thing with three horns, is sankaku. However, if you're speaking fast and you are speaking Tokyo dialect, as most of you would be, so san ka ku. You can say sankaku. However, so like the summer triangle is daisankaku. However, more often you're going to hear, because this is the end of a word, the u becomes devoiced. Because it comes after a weak consonant, a ku. So this comes out as sankak. Just a note. Anyway, asobimasu, the formal, the polite form of to play. It doesn't mean play politely. It means to play, but it's in polite context. So, this is how I understand it. I might be wrong. Blah, 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 blah. This ends in an u. It's su. Japanese looks at this and says, hey, I can work with that. U's are basically the ends of verbs. I can treat this like the end of a verb, and I can knock off a part of it, and I can make it into what do they call it? The polite potential, or polite volitional form, rather. So, I have my kanji, aso, bi, ma, and then I can knock off the u and make it asobimashou. Let's play. Politely. In common conversation. Asobimashou. And there are some contexts where Japanese will look at this and say, oh, hey, there's an oo at the end of this. Ooh, la boo boo. And it goes, I can work with that. And you can... Japanese is perfectly comfortable just stacking verb roots and stems on top of each other, and I love it. It's so cool because you're basically just making bigger and bigger verbs. Anyway, we were talking about kuru and suru. Kuru and suru are special little guys. Because they have a whole bunch of weird forms. And they're important because they form other verbs. Like we were talking about, Japanese verbs are a closed... uh isn't there a Japanese form that's like to do something as a favor to someone else that you can apply to basically any verb? Yeah, technically. It's technically another verb. Um uh let me double check. So it's usually yeah, kureta. Means like to give, but it fuck. I'm rusty on like kureru, morau, and ageru. But like there are three there's two verbs in Japanese that mean to give, or like yeah, to give. One is forgiving, moving towards you. One is forgiving, moving away from you. And then there's a verb for receive, which is you are the recipient, basically. Um, and you can add them on to the ends of any other verb, and it makes it like as a favor. Like ageru is forgiving that moves away from you. So like it's te ageru, I believe. So like I think I think don't write this in your notes, but it's like so like miru's te form is mite. Uh uh ge which is like to look, like somebody closer to me looked at something for someone further away from me socially. Um, but yeah, so that's another example. They can stack on top of each other. The te form, um, as it's called, it can end in te or de, or te. Um, but it's called the te form because that's the most common ending. It does a whole bunch of things. One of the things it does is it basically passes off inflection to the next verb. So if you have like nani nani verb in the te form, if you have another verb immediately after it, so like at the end of the sentence, because Japanese puts verbs at the end of the sentence. The basic so the fun thing about Japanese is that in order to form a grammatically correct Japanese sentence, you need a verb at the end, and it's important to keep in mind that all adjectives are technically verbal. So a simple bare verb uttered on its own is a grammatically correct Japanese sentence. So if you have a verb in the te form, you can have another verb, and you can put a whole bunch of like inflection on it, and it'll mean doing this thing and this thing in this way. Basically, it passes on the the duty of inflection to the next verb. Basically, what it's doing is the te form is the linking form, more or less. It has other uses, but that's the most productive form, the most productive use of it. It links things together, which is why adjectives have one. If you want to say something has two qualities, you put the first one in the te form and then you conjugate the second one. So in this way, you're technically making one big adjective that means like to be this way and also this way like this. It's beautiful. It's glory. I fucking love it. Anyway. Um So, suru is important because verbs in Japanese are non-productive. You can't make new ones, but sometimes you can. But most of the time you can't. So, there are a lot of verbs that are like noun suru. For example, ryori, a word that Koseki Biju cannot say. Ryori. Um, means cooking. Japanese does not have a plain verb for cooking, like to cook. Well, it kind of does, but the common way that you say that is ryori suru. So in this way, we can make new verbs. We say you do cooking. You do studying. Benkyou. 大変だ。Like that. 勉強する. This isn't unique to suru. There are other. That's a really good circle. What the fuck? Huh? Anyway, you do cooking. You do studying. Goodbye. Consequently, if you learn suru, the irregular verb, it is highly productive. So you get to you get to make new verbs. And that's how a lot of new verbs enter Japanese now. Is that it's like nani nani suru. Nani nani suru. This doesn't mean it. Nani nani is like something suru. That's how you say like it's the placeholder noun. Nani nani something something suru. One of the most nice things to learn when you're learning a language is talking about language as like a concept, because it's very useful. Because the less time that you have to switch back to English or whatever your native language is, the better. So if you can get to the point where you can be like, instead of asking like, excuse me, sensei, is that an u verb or a ru verb? If you can raise your hand and go, 先生、それは、語段動詞ですか? It's better because you're staying in Japanese. Or like one of the most here, we'll switch back to Chinese really quick. One of the most useful terms you can use, or terms you can learn, in Chinese is this?怎么写, which is here. I'll give you. That's wrong. There we go. 怎么写? This means how is it written? So, na ge zi 怎么写? That one character. How is it like? How do you write that? So, like, I used this morning. I went 老师老师老师 means teacher. Um, 老是你的名字什么？怎么写? Teacher, your name, like you of name, how is it written? This is a great thing to learn how to say in Chinese if you want to learn it, because you're going to be asking this a whole bunch. So if you can learn how to talk about language in the language you're learning, fantastic. So like when you learn Spanish, like ¿cómo se dice? How is it said? Nani nani. So the more time during the language learning process that you can stay in your language, the better. So suru. Let's learn suru because I need to learn it. So I'm going to teach it to you. So suru's volitional, like mashou, is xiu. So 勉強しよう。勉強しましょう。Let us study. We'll use ryori. That's wrong. Ryori suru? Because that's one of the words that we're learning in class right now. So, ryori Um, Ryori. If I want to say it politely, suru becomes shimasu. Shimasu. And in the negative, nani nani, shimasen. And then that's present indicative. And in the past, it's shimashita. There's that shita. That is a good chance that you're ta or da is a good chance that you're in the past. Ryori shimashita. And then polite past negative is shimasen deshita. Not too bad. Not too bad. Ryori shimasu, ryori shimasen, ryori shimashita, ryori shimasen deshita. 料理しませんでした。大変だ。Okay, so you get the idea. And then we'll do the volitional because that's what I was learning today in class and made me feel like an idiot. A fucking idiot. So, because it's weird. The two forms, plain and polite. It's important to know all of them. Suru is highly irregular in the potential form. Because the potential of suru is dekiru. And you'll notice there's a ru back here, so you can totally like put other shit onto that. Do you know how likely it is to accidentally come across as rude in Japanese, or if you don't know the polite forms, or is it the sort of thing people will just understand and not mind about? In certain constructions, the polite form is obligatory. From my understanding, the polite form is the grammatically correct choice in some things. So like polite is a bad, it's not 100% accurate. From my understanding, like everyone in an office sense will be using like the mas form, like the polite form. Not necessarily because they're being polite to each other, but because everyone's on equal terms. It's almost like in that case, it's almost like it's not the polite form, it's that it's the not impolite form, if that makes sense. Like in many ways, the polite form is the one that you're going to be using a lot when you're talking to like strangers because you don't know them. So it's good to know. Like it's good to be very familiar with it because in like first time interactions, it's going to be what you use. So, 料理できる And when we use the potential form, we use ga. So let me double check something. Let me find an example sentence. Nani. Let's see. I think it was on page. Okay, so as an example, 私は I am the subject. Tempura ga 料理できる. I am the subject. Tempura is I am the topic. Tempura is the subject because we're using the potential form, so we are obligated to use ga. So, 私は天ぷらが料理できる. I am able to cook tempura. If we want it to be... however, that's not true. So, 私は天ぷらが料理できない。できない。I am unable to cook tempura. But we want to be polite. So how do we do that? Well, we do it like this. できます. That's a verb. It's a secret tool for us to use later. And the mas stem is normative, so we only have to worry about this being irregular. So the negative polite is dekimasen. Jajan! Will this class be covering Esperanto? No, real languages only. Oh, it's a universal language that I based off of all the languages of the world, except it's just European one. Fucking bleh. I'm sorry, I have beef with Esperanto for no reason. So, let's see if I can write. So, de kiru, de kinai, de kimasu. Oh, I'm so good. I'm so good. They're saying he's cracked. Deki ma sen. Oh, I'm getting it. Oh shit, I'm feeling it. Alrighty. What if I want to be rude to someone? Don't do that. Um, although one thing that is oddly interesting. So there's a regular myth that people don't that Japanese doesn't have sarcasm. It does. One of the main ways that it apparently manifests is overuse of polite language. Um, so like and it's actually manifest. So one incredibly rude second person pronoun, because there are no really like polite second person pronouns. The closest that you get is anata, which can be used between lovers occasionally. Because it almost it like nobody's gonna get mad if like you're walking by and somebody's wallet falls out of their pocket and you have to say like anata no saifu desu ka, because saying saifu desu ka means that like, is this a wallet, and you're asking it the reality of the situation. So like you'd have to, ideally later on you would learn how to say like, was this dropped. um anyway, one of the ruder second person pronouns is kisama, which is written like this. Uh, um, these are both positive term. Ki means like expensive or like venerable, and sama is like the elevated form of san. They use the same kanji, in fact. This is incredibly rude, and it's akin to being like, excuse me, princess. It's like it's like calling somebody your highness when they are not in fact royalty. So much like in English, overuse of polite terminology can be viewed as rude. Um, but yeah, so what else do I want to do today? I'm gonna have to practice more of that later. Referring to the people mugging me with the dono suffix so they know I want them dead. Dono is another weird one. Dono is like my lord. And it comes across as very like nerdy. because it's only really used in fiction now. Because like there are one of the issues with the second person pronouns in Japanese is that a lot of the social relations that they indicated are now illegal. Like, no one is a feudal lord anymore. Um, and there's a million first person pronoun. Interesting. So, English and Japanese are kind of the reverse of each other. In that in English, I need to make this smaller. I'm like just smudging. In English, pronouns are a closed class. They are a technically open class in Japanese, and verbs are an open class in English and a closed class in Japanese. So, as a result, English is constantly making verbs like because of the freedom of the English system of verbal inflection, basically any like phonologically acceptable collection of sounds can be like verbalized. So like yeet just entered the language as a verb. And like everyone knew like, yeah, yeet. The past is yeeted. And then it's like, okay, but is it yote? Um and then like will yeet. He eats. So there's that. Not allowed in Japanese. Um Japanese, however, has a whole bunch of pronouns. Um Technically, if we want to be technical, past tense is yeeted, and ideally, if we're going by like if this is a strong verb in the Germanic system of verbal inflection, the past participial or the past perfect would be has yot. Or have. I have yot. He yeeted. I have yot. There we go. Anyway, so I saw something in the wild today that made me so like it was adorable. We have two students from Japan who are visiting for 3 weeks, and they are like hanging around in the class to help, because they're learning English and all of that. Um, One of them, there's a boy and a girl, and the girl stands up and like we're doing like introductions. After I introduced myself as a guy who likes tea ceremonies, calligraphy, and horse racing, um, and she introduced her like she said this. I'm gonna. うちは佐々木です。I'm Sasaki. Like, my name is Sasaki. Uchi is a pronoun I didn't know people were still using. Uchi is like, the best way I can describe the sort of person who uses the pronoun uchi is a high school girl who's way cuter than you. Um, yeah, Okami Mio, uh, uses uchi. Um, but like this is like I think Gyaru used to use uchi, and like it has the connotation of like cute girl. And I was like, oh my god, it's real. I saw it in the wild. I saw someone use uchi. That's incredible. Um, there are ones that you will never see somebody use. For example, this one, which is the standard first person pronoun in Chinese. In Chinese, it's wo. In Japanese, it's ware. Um, ware is old, and like super formal, and like you will never hear someone address themselves as ware. Doesn't it technically mean our family? Yeah, like how do you, I don't know how you say this, but it's like wareya is like our house. Um, one of the ways you might see it is if you are being addressed, like in a company address. The term, this character, this is an iteration mark. It means that kanji next to me again. And it's used in Japanese a lot because there's a lot of words that have like the same kanji over and over again. Um, so you can write it like that, or you can be a cool kid and write all of your kanji out full. Uh, ware ware is us. It means we or us. But in turn, like um uchi, yeah, I think it means it's always rendered in hiragana. Like it's always written like this. But I think I know that that is a reading for that. Um so like for an example of uchi, in Dandadan, when the heroine is talking to the protagonist, and they don't want to go in the tunnel, and they're like, you go first, you go first. When she's trying to look cute, she like puts on a fake, she does fake crying, and she goes mite uchi no namitame, which is like, look at my crybaby eyes. But she uses uchi because she wants to be extra cute. Anyway, ware ware is like us in terms of like the company. Like, we have determined that your service is no longer necessary. You would use ware ware. Well, you wouldn't. Don't try to use ware ware. You probably will never need it. Um, Although life has taught me so many pronouns, I never would have heard of yo or wagahai. No one says wagahai. Like, Dapuras is like super chuni for using wagahai, because it means like wagahai is the one that you use when you are addressing like servile underlings. Um there's also like one that's kind of fallen out of usage is this one. which is jibun, which means like it. Technically, it's still the Japanese reflexive pronoun, like oneself. But it used to be that guys would say like uh, jibun wa nimo desu, but almost no one does that anymore. Apparently, I was looking at a survey. Uh, Speaking of which, I found a survey yesterday about let me find it. Uh, yeah, the Japan Times did a survey of like college age people. So, um, among men, it says that 76%, and this is in 2003. 76% of men refer to themselves as ore, which is a fairly masculine pronoun. However, it does note that basically the understanding that I got from the research they did is that they default to watashi in like first time interactions. Pronouns! Fucking pronouns! They default to watashi in first time interaction. So using ore, from my understanding of the situation, is that it's almost like what situations would you feel comfortable throwing the word fucking as a casual intensifier into a sentence? So like if you're talking to your friend, you might say like so I'm just fucking sitting there. Um and you don't mean any vulgarity by it either. It's just like a you're just saying it for the mouthfeel, basically. In situations where you would feel comfortable doing that, it seems that that is when they would feel comfortable using ore. So like if you're talking to your professor, you're not gonna say, uh, "Are we fucking doing this? You wanna fucking go?" You're not gonna do that. So you use watashi because it's polite. From my understanding, oh god, this is gonna be funny. This character can also be read. Watashi is a simplification of watakushi. From my understanding, nobody says this anymore outside of like, give me a job. Like this is Kegel. You're not gonna learn this. Like you learn Kegel when you get a job. For some reason, Genki still teaches it to you. Genki is a bad textbook. Don't use it. What textbook does my university use? What you ask? Genki. That's a nice way to think about how formal and informal pronouns would be utilized. Thank you. I came up with that myself. When you just want to feel a little fucking in your mouth. Exactly. We're gonna run an ad. So I will Welcome back. Welcome back, gamers. Actually, I love this. Mocha, thank you so much. This is beautiful. Oh, I'm gonna get use out of this one. Anyway, I think that's enough language for one day. Um, I think I want to do some of the dailies, and then we will wrap up, and we will have had a beautiful, glorious stream, and I'm very happy. That's enough language for one day. Continue speaking English. What a phony. I was trying to think of something I knew how to say in Welsh to get back at you, but I've forgotten everything. I have half a mind just to mash all of the applicable. Well, I was just gonna say a random word and I don't know. I've forgotten every word in Welsh that I've ever encountered, and I'm like, I don't know. Ceredigion is probably a Welsh word. It sounds right. um. All right. Let's start strong. Let's do the connections. My favorite Welsh words is cadno. That is a nice word. All right. Tap, odd, false, red, checking, sparkling, even, deposit, yes, still, true, black, bottled, savings, no, withdraw. Uh. So, let's see. There are some pairs here. Cuz like savings, withdraw, yes, no, true, false, odd, even, red and black, or deposit, withdrawal rather. Savings, checking and savings, bottled or sparkling water. Interest. Wait. Bottled, sparkling, tap, uh black water is a thing. One away. Still. When's the last time somebody asked you if you wanted sparkling or still? Ruan? Naur? Naur? It's the same word but what? That's goofy. That's goofy. Have you found a new source of wild water in your new place? You know, I had half a mind to like grab a bottle because on the way down here, I passed by. I could have passed by the unregulated water supply. I had half a mind to grab a bottle as a souvenir of my northern inhabitants, but I did not. My friends basically did everything short of making me swear a blood oath that I would never drink it. So I'm not allowed. Okay. Uh, I mean, is this just banking terms? ATM options. Uh, what is it? Yes, true, even, and black? Huh. Odd, even, red, and black on red, black, odd, and even. Roulette option. Oh. Binary. This is what I was looking for. But I got muddled up by it because I was approaching it from my experience in computer science, where even odd are like kind of also like Boolean options. No bullshit. Word games and connections always throws me off. Yeah. View results. Puzzle corner. Let's see. What else do we have? Oh, we gotta. My favorite. Good old fucking footy scran. 2 pork and cheese papusas. 11 £. Salt and pepper chips with a pint, obviously. 100%. Easy. Currywurst or barbecue chicken and chips. I feel like people are going to go for this, and they are, but that's still high enough for me to be okay with it. Spicy pulled pork roll? English pulled pork. I don't know about that. Taqueria soft tacos. What? We're gonna trust the English to make things spicy? Really? Now this currywurst, I feel like it looks better. But piss. Chicken burger. Oh no. Ooh. New Zealand, what are you doing? That's fucked up. That's real fucked up. Oh. It's so small. It's like the size of a quarter. The UK has come a long way since post-war period where owning more than 2 grains of pepper could get you arrested for rationing violations. It's obviously that. Yeah, 9.5%. It fucking better be. Jesus Christ. Slice of chocolate cake. No fork? Pork sandwich with that. Whoa, hold on. No fork chocolate cake on a fucking napkin? Did better than that? That's wrong. Oh god. Now I'm fucking I don't know what to believe about the world. Okay. I know which one I would want for £8, but I know which one they would want. I would not be paying 16 AUD for a chicken burger with little to no chicken. Pie and mash with liquor and chili vinegar. £9. It looks so good. Oh, it looks so good. Look at that. That's a thing of beauty. But that's with a pint. Listen, I am the last guy standing in the fucking would you eat this competition with the English food, cuz I'm like, I know it's going to taste good. Yeah, wait, hold on. Korean fried chicken with waffle fries and a pint, £29. £29. I don't care that you're in Los Angeles. Jesus Christ. Yeah, butter chicken poutine does sound amazing. I need to see this one again. That's just not correct. That's just wrong. Price. Oh, it's 30. It's less than a pound. Oh, it's 30p. Fuck, that's why. Oh my god, that's why. Shit. Yeah, that's. Oh, yeah, you're right. Fuck. That's like not. That's free. That's fucking free. What's 30p in real money? Actually, if I just Google that, what is it gonna tell me? In terms of US dollars. Yep. It's fucking 40 cents. Oh my god. It's a little thin, but I mean, it's so cheap. Oh my god. Okay. I don't like the look of that sauce. I don't like the look of that sauce. Those tacos look way better. But I guess this is cheaper. Uh this one I don't know though. I don't know. I don't know. This one, like, the price is better. That currywurst looks really good. I can remember when 30p would get you a packet of prawn cocktail crisps at Tesco. Jesus Christ. I remember growing up and, like, wasn't the exchange rate for, like, the British pound to the US dollar was like 1 to 2. And it also, like, it was like 1 pound to $2, and the pound also had like higher purchasing power because you guys were also still riding on like the economic. I don't want to use the term economic miracle, but like the absolute economic, like, fucking easy mode that is owning half of the earth for a while. You guys still had that going for you. When did Hong Kong stop being a British colony? That was in the 90s, right? Yeah, 90, the year before I was born. The good old days before we destroyed our economy doing Brexit. Doing a Brexit. Yeah. Before we were introduced to fucking the she devil of Thatcher and austerity. We've spent too much money, and as a result, there is a deficit. Consequently, we will be defunding everything and making it impossible to make money. Thank you. Uh, let me get my ass handed to me in spell check. Is a man a part of his bicycle?
Frankly, a adverb meaning in a frank manner. Frankly, a adverb meaning in a frank.
Adverb? Fucking
Gel.
clanker.
A noun meaning a colloid in a more solid form than. Transmissibility. A adjective meaning capable of being transmitted. Transmissibility. A adjective meaning capable of being transmitted. Transmissibility.
It's only one S. Also trans.
Whelp. A noun meaning any of the young of very.
Oh, is there an H?
Ragamuffin. A noun meaning a ragged, often disreputable.
What are these? These are not easy words.
Doldrums. A plural noun meaning a spell of listlessness or Automated. A adjective meaning operated automatically. Gemini. A noun meaning. Avoid. A verb. Sciatica. A noun meaning pain along the course. Malign. A adjective meaning evil in nature, influence, or effect.
There we go.
Farfalla. A noun meaning butterfly-shaped pasta. The word is the plural of farfalla, Italian for butter.
Farfalle.
Putsch. A noun meaning a secretly plotted and.
Putsch.
Apoplexy. A noun meaning stroke. Apoplexy comes from Middle English, borrowed from Middle French and Late Latin. Glaswegian. A geographical
From fucking
name meaning
Glasgow?
city and port in south-central Scotland, constituting an administrative area on the Clyde River area.
Ugh. Fucking Ouija's. I was serving a woman. I'm apoplexing over here. It's farfalle. Fuck. Okay, Bandle. Nope. Shop here a while back, and the shop assistant heard my accent, was like, "Oh, where in the UK are you from?" in a pretty standard American accent, and I said Wales, and she replied, "I'm from Glasgow," and my head was like, "The fuck you are? What?" No, you're not. I understand you. I agree with you, even though I don't know what it is. It's peak dad rock. It's giving like a surf rendition of "Don't Fear the Reaper." Muslim monarchs of groove. What, like a caliph? I don't know. Sultans of Swing, Dire Straits. I've never heard that song before in my life, actually. Let's see if video games have anything to offer me. I have no idea what this is. That's the Zelda sound font, though. Is this... That's why I know it. It's like the only one I've played. Ah, there it is. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Okay. Switch that back over. Jazz music starts. What is Daily Jingle? Hang on a second. What is this? Is this like... Wait. Oh, no. No, 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 no. I don't like that. I have no... I have high musical aptitude. I took a test for it, and but I refuse to engage with Western music theory. No, thank you. That's gross. Ugh. Real bird, fake bird. Guess each of the 7 prompts are real or fake. What? Indigo King, fake bird. Island Sunshine. Oh, are these potatoes? That's a real. Russian banana is a real. Black Forest is fake. Purple Majesty is real. That's the purple one. Mayan Gold, that's real. Sunset Gold, that's fake. Okay. Okay, this one might come into the rotation. This one's interesting. Fascinating. Are you a just intonation man or an equal temperament man? Fuck. Equal temperament is the one where we do like roots of 2 just to make the math work, right? So we don't like lose commas. Pokedoku. We can try Pokedoku. Equal temperament. Yeah, I don't mind equal temperament. I don't think most people can actually tell. Fill in 9 boxes. At least 2 correct answers per box, with the exception of master and fan puzzles. Once you select a Pokemon, you can't switch your answer. No reusing. Okay, let's play. Dark and ghost type. Is that fucking... What's a dark ghost type? I know there's a lot of them. Haunter is Haunter? Or like Dusk is Duskull? Oh fuck, okay. Ghastly is ghost poison, right? Fucking, I don't know. Let me. Dark and grass. Fair. Okay. I don't think I can do Pokedoku because the last time I played Pokemon, there was no fairy type. I don't know if I've ever encountered it. I can't do Pokedoku. Spear 2. I don't know what that is. Don't know what that is. I know Shift Tree. I know what that. Who the fuck are you? Was it Galar? Zigzagoon Galar? What? Fucking beware. Who are you? I don't know. You're the little crying bitch. Huh? Yeah, I don't think I can do Pokedoku. I don't know enough Pokemon. There's 2 new Volcaronas in the newest game. Volcarona, my beloved. I will only accept my true my true son. The golden sun shines forever, and I am its disciple. Riddle. Ooh, food guesser. Let's play the daily. Rice, saffron, sugar, rose water, water, butter, cardamom, slivered almonds, cinnamon, and pistachios. Is this like Afghanistan borders? Iran. Cholezard. This is soup. Navy beans, ham hot. This is Senate beans soup served in the United States Senate dining room. Really? Navy beans, ham hock, onion, celery, garlic, parsley, salt, black pepper, water, and potato optional? Oh my god. The soup's consistent present in the Senate menu is due to a Senate resolution. There's a law requiring this. There are 2 prevailing stories about its origin. One attributes this to Senator Fred Dubois of Idaho, who reportedly requested the soup, while another credits Senator Knute Nelson of Minnesota for its introduction. Largely unchanged over the decades, basic, straightforward preparation methods, soaking navy beans, nutrition-wise, Senate bean soup is noted for being high in protein and fiber due to navy beans, as well as containing modest amount of fat contributed by the ham hocks. It is served year-round in the Senate dining room, making it a consistent fixture regardless of season. Attempts to modernize or alter the recipe have been met with resistance, as many believe the traditional recipe should be preserved. The soup remains a symbol of Senate tradition and has become a point of culinary and historical interest beyond Washington, D.C., featured in cookbooks and food media as a recipe steeped in American legislative history. Wow, that's crazy. It does seem good. I'm at the soup store. Dark chocolate, unsalted butter, sugar, eggs, heavy cream, flour, vanilla extract, apricot jam, cocoa powder, rum, or brandy. Is this... I don't know. Ice cold? I don't know. France? Is that... ooh, that's some orthography. Rigo Yanashki. Is this... Yanashki? Is this... very hot? Ooh. Fucking... borders. It's not Hungary, is it? It is. This is a very this threw me. It didn't have the standard Hungarian tells. 3% yuck. Not a very good, not a very good score. Time guesser. Today's time guesser was pretty hard. Oh fuck! Oh, who the fuck are you? Oh, are any of these men Mbappe? I don't know. Fucking France in 2022. I don't know who you people are. The balls. Oh, is this the World's Fair? Where the fuck? There it is. Zero zero draw. God, they were that bad. Wow. Balls. Oh, it's gas. Cook with gas. Light with gas. Heat with gas. The Aero Club of St. Louis. I don't know. 1925. 1909. Exide? Uruguay? So, like, it's probably in Montevideo. And then, what? This might be, like, 24? Because those are, like, Model Ts. It's seen in Montevideo, Uruguay during the early 20s. Where are we? Telefunken. Casco. Marlon Olsen. Agfa.
Hey, in case you hadn't noticed.
Poochie! Poochie, hi! Welcome. How are you doing? Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. Which one is that? How was your stream? I'm so proud of you. You've been streaming. But yeah, welcome in everybody. I'm Director Nemo, your favorite villain VTuber, and it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. We are doing the dailies before we wrap up. Oh, God. Oh! Svenska. Oh my God, it's a VW bus. So is this the 70s? The 60s. Fuck. Love how often Time Guesser is just find flag, click capital city. Yep. What is this? This is a very vertical image. This goes hard. Where are we? Is this Italy? This feels Italian. Italy in 68. Okay. Oh, the seating event for wrestling in the 1960 Summer Olympic. I feel like knowing sports history helps with Time Guesser a lot. So close. If I had guessed England instead of France, we would have cracked 40K. All right. I guess Athens instead of Rome on the last one and screwed myself. I guessed based on the architecture of where they were. So, but I could see why. Uh Catfishing my beloved. 1904 establishments in France, association football governing bodies. Uh It's FIFA. They're really evil. Coins of Italy, gold coins, guilder, medieval currencies, obsolete Italian. Uh, is this the florin? Yeah. 1567 establishments in the Spanish Empire, capitals in South America, populated places in Venezuela. What's the capital of fucking Venezuela? Uh, is it? Fuck. Venezuela's capital is clearly it. Come on. Oh fuck. Bogota is Colombia. Lima, Peru. Brasilia. Oh fuck. Ah. Uh I don't know it. Caracas. Fuck. Damn. Electric Vehicle Series, FIA World Champions, One Make Series, Open Wheel Racing, reoccurring sporting events established in 2014. Electric Vehicle Series. I'm not going to know this one either. Formula E. Formula E. That's so goofy sounding. Animated characters introduced in 2001. Fictional characters with superhuman strength. Fictional hermits. Fictional humanoids. Fictional ogres. Is this Shrek? Yeah! It's fucking Shrek! 2010 debut singles, songs, ballads, American soft rock, animated music videos, Atlantic record singles, bachata. I don't know any bachata music. Billboard Hot 100 #1 singles, Bruno Mars song, R&B. Wait, okay, Bruno Mars. Fuck it, pop ballads, Pierce the Veil. Wait, Pierce the Veil and Bruno Mars. Uh. I don't know. I don't know anything about Bruno Mars. I don't know that song. 1982 establishments in California, alternative rock groups from California, American funk metal musical groups, Echo Award winners, Kerrang Award winners, MTV Europe Music Award winners, MTV Music Award winners. The Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's fucking Californication. Which is the only... I've only ever heard Californication. And it was given to me as homework because I mentioned in a music class that I had never heard Californication, and my teacher was like, go home and listen to it. Juche! 20th century Joker, male actors, male writer. Children of President. Is this Kim Jong Il? Is the first Kim Il Sung? Fuck! I mixed up him and his dad. Piss. A-type main series sequenced. No, don't make me look at the fucking Hertzsprung-Russell diagram. I'll kill you. Known since antiquity, astronomical X-ray sources, Bayer objects, binary stars, Henry Draper catalog. Stars with proper names. White dwarfs. I don't think it's Sirius. Is it Sirius? I think Sirius is a blue giant, which would mean it's a type O star, I think. Betelgeuse is a binary star. However, Betelgeuse is a type... Is Betelgeuse also a type O star, but it's a red giant? I think it might... It's a main sequence star, but it's a red giant. Canis Major. Wait, is it Canis Major? Yeah. Cool. This is the big dog. Latin for glowing or scorching. Cool. 20th century British autobiographers, 1962 births. BBC sports person. Oh no! Commonwealth Games gold medalist for England. English male row. No. Steve Redgrave. Who are you? Literal who? Not a great. I gotta say, even when I fuck up, in like catfishing is doing something right, because even when it's bad, it feels so good. Wait, did we not just do the... Okay, let's... I don't know. I'm down for one... No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to be greedy. He's a national treasure. Won a bunch of rowing golds. Retired. Said he never got in a boat again. And to shoot him, unretired, wants some more gold. If he ever got in a boat again, to shoot him, unretired, wants some golds. That's incredible. What a guy. I should hit the hay. I'm still tired from being in the car for 6 hours. Thanks for the stream, Nemo. Take care and have a good night. Thank you. I am glad that you had a good time. Sleep well. And actually, I think I am going to follow you in I'm going to follow suit because I think it is time for me to also go to bed. So, I am going to find someone to raid right quick. Yeah, it's basically a 4-hour stream. Who's streaming? A whole bunch of wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. Lots of people. Mm. Hmm. Hmm. Let's see. Hold on. I got a cough. There we go. Let's raid Themby. Let's do Aqua. Who is doing art co-working, which is kind of like what we were doing today. Uh, there's your raid message. Grab a copy. And thank you so much for spending time with me. I hope to do a lot more streams like this in the future, if that's all right with you guys. I'm really liking this format. I think we're gonna learn Japanese together. I need to claw myself into the ability to be top of my class because I demand perfection from myself in terms of language, and I'm going to do it at your expense. So yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Ganbatte ne. Anyway, I think I'm taking tomorrow off, so unless I gorilla scream, I will see you on Friday for more Outer Wilds in the afternoon. Bye bye.